Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey, a documentary series created on Netflix on the FLDS, which is the Fundamental Latter-day Saints. So it's a Mormon church. Directed by Rachel Desnias, follows the death of Ruin Jeff, which was their prophet, and the rise of Warren Jeff, who became on America's Most Wanted as a fugitive, creating a very melancholy sex trafficking cult. Hello, welcome to the Gray Heavens, a scrupulously place found in space where saints and souls have friendly chatter about things that really matter. Documentaries is one of the things that we do, and one of the documentaries that we are doing today is the Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. Now, if you know nothing about the FLDS or anything about the Mormon Church, there's a really good YouTube documentary by Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris used to be a missionary for the Mormon Church. The break from the mainstream Mormon Church happened in around 1904 when the government became more strict on its laws surrounding polygamy. And if you're not familiar, polygamy or plural marriage is where one husband has multiple wives. And that kind of goes into the theology of the FLDS, is meaning that they, to ascend the highest degree in the celestial kingdom, have to have at least 3 wives. And this was something that Joseph Smith really taught. So polygamy is the main thing that drives the fundamental Latter-day Saints and their break-off from 1986 when we find a man by the name of Ruin Jeff. And Ruin Jeff was their prophet who believed was going to take them into the millennial, was going to take them into the celestial kingdom. In 1998, their prophet had a stroke, and he was to be the prophet that would take them into the next stage. He died at 92, and everyone was so confused around that this man was going to take us into the next millennium. He was going to bring us into the next age. He was going to bring us from the world that was going to be destroyed. And so in this power vacuum, one of his sons slipped into power, and his name was Warren Jeff. And Warren Jeff was a very smart man. He was a principal of their private school. Everything changes. You get interviews of people who say you can't wear red, your clothes are even more restricted, you can't go out to play. Around women it becomes extremely stringent, and it becomes much less, there were holidays taken away. From different sources you find out that Christmas is gone. Even the word fun is taken out from when Warren Jeff takes power. This is also when the documentary kind of gets a little bit more ugly of the abuse that Warren Jeff put his people through, especially women. And you get interviews of several people who were married at 14, which was illegal, to their cousin. The documentary follows more of Warren's leadership and how he became on the Most Wanted. It was actually a brilliant con artistry to say that, like, who do you think the next prophet would be? Never announcing it as yourself as you would be, but having other people introduce it to the audience before you came out and said it. Now Warren Jeff, he had the people who all migrated down to a place called Short Creek, which is on the Arizona and Utah border. It's literally right there. In the town, you can go into Utah and Arizona, called Short Creek. And Short Creek was the prophesied place that would be lifted up geologically, like the documentary goes into detail, land would go up. It didn't happen, and so Warren Jeff said that they're not going to, God gave them more time to repent. And then you start to see that Warren Jeff goes on the run, and he becomes America's Most Wanted. There was a raid that occurred on a place by the Bureau of Alcohol and Arms and Explosives, the ATF, and they were given a call of a 16-year-old pregnant woman. This call later became a hoax. They linked it back to a woman in Colorado who made a lot of these calls, but it was enough evidence that they came in with a warrant to discover that there were a lot of people here. There were a lot of children here. This wasn't in Short Creek. It was in Texas. It was in a place in El Dorado, Texas called the YFZ. So the Yearning for Zion Ranch. And the YFZ had over 500 children at the place. 500 kids. All these kids were taken from their homes in Short Creek and driven all the way to the Yearning for Zion camp, which had this big white erected building temple. Warren Jeff was arrested. He was found in a red Cadillac, which was the color that they weren't supposed to wear, and sent to court for the evidence that was found in that vault and in that temple. Warren Jeff stood trial, and he was put in prison for child abuse, rape, and molesting, a lot of ugly things that this man did. At the end of every episode, the documentary is the way it was compiled. So the documentary kind of had, an interview and like a collage type, old videos and old pictures from like 2000, 2004, like to 2005 to 2007, all these old pictures and videos of the FLDS. And I really liked it. I like that sort of video noise type collage, because it was kind of complicated to see like if someone was married to like 32 wives, to see all of their tree. So I really like that sort of collage style. I really like that sort of old like video noise, like everything is kind of like a blue tint to it. Like I do really like that like flickery. In the beginning episodes there wasn't very much like B-roll, like large B-roll of like drone shots. In the later episodes there was more of that. Like in 4 and 3 there were much more of that sort of drone videos of like the Utah mountains and stuff. But besides that, it was mostly pictures, dramatic music, and old video films. Like probably like a camera like that of just old tapes. Here's a fun game that you can play when you watch the documentary. In every single interview, except the ones that are completely blurred or out of focus in the back, every single interview has either a plant, a book, or a lamp. All of them have at least one of those in it. So when you watch the documentary, do that. There is a lot of good dialogue online. Like you can find it on YouTube. There's a video that Drew Invesky does on this documentary, and things that weren't discussed in it. Unfiltered stories of Warren Jeff's own child, and it's amazing. I love it. It's such hopeful. It's such beauty to be in some place that is so iniquitous and so dark and just so religiously abusive and spiritually abusive. Did you enjoy the documentary? Have you even seen it? Have you not seen it? Will you see it? Please tell me. I want to know all of it. This is a safe place that you can discuss scrupulous ideas that really matter in this gray space. This is true. I hope that you have a purposeful week.